What would a Hufflepuff inspired dining room look like? That's the question we're going to be answering today. Welcome to week 2 of our Designing a Hogwarts House series. Now, what do we know about the Hufflepuff common room? We know that they are near the Hogwarts kitchens. We know that they are cozy with bee-like colors in black and yellow. They have hot, very high polished, honey-colored wood, and it's got a lot of curved shelves, lots of plants hanging from the ceiling on the shelves, and a lot of them are in copper bottom pots. In the video games online that I can find, there's very few references of what the Hufflepuff common room looks like. When I was looking for inspiration, I came across this fantastic tile. It technically has a bunch of different color variations available, but this kind of honey colored made me think of the honey yellow and black that we see mentioned in the Pottermore description of what to expect. It has warm hues. It's going to play really well in a lot of different settings, especially a dining room where you want it to be cozy and inviting and someplace you spend a lot of time. So, using my best PowerPoint Photoshop skills, I created a focal wall for our dining room, using the tiles as the center, and then bringing in the greenery that was mentioned and all the foliage that was mentioned in the Pottermore description on the sides, using the faux living wall mats. Thinking as a renter like myself, this could be actually very renter friendly because these pieces, the greenery walls, go up with nails, command strips. There's a lot of different easy ways to hang them, so minimal damage to your walls. But I was thinking if you did a focal wall with the tiles, if you only did a small slice, like maybe a 6-foot section or so, depending on the size of the dining room, theoretically, you could tile this onto plywood or some type of board and then just screw in the corners behind the plants. And then theoretically, there could be only just a few holes in your wall, and then you take it down and you move it. Just something to think about. Now, I'm trying to envision the room that we're designing in. It's going to be cozy. There's going to be warm. They talked about the honey colored wood. So I was like, okay, we need to definitely work that in when we look at the flooring. And what's the most important thing in a dining room? Well, the table is. Now, it's hard to tell here. I'll give you that. But it's kind of a dark, almost ambery honey wood up top. And what I thought was interesting was there was black legs on the base of the table. And I was like, it's kind of an interesting combination. And I like it because those are already really 2 of the 3 elements that were depicted in the description on Pottermore. And I thought, okay, if we're making a statement dining room inspired by Hufflepuff, we know that Hufflepuff had a lot of foliage and flowers and just greenery in their common room. We also know from Pottermore that the Hufflepuffs were often, I don't want to say superior, but they definitely leaned towards the herbology tracks when they were in Hogwarts. And I thought, we really need to enjoy this plant moment a little bit more. So I found this tremendously fun print in yellows and mustards and ambers with a touch of dark greens, almost a little black. And I thought, what a fun little 2-seater, maybe 3-seater, but probably 2-seater little sofa that you could use in your dining room for that fun splash of color. It's bringing all the elements together. Something different. And I knew if we were going to do this, we needed to go all out. No reason to hold back. We didn't hold back last week with our Ravenclaw-inspired bedroom. We're not holding back this week. So I fell in love with this chandelier. And I had to put it off to this side here so you could just see on a white backdrop how cool it is. It has this wispy, natural element to it, which I think lends itself to, one, the flowers that we see here that are kind of abstract, the foliage that we're talking about. There's a lot of mention of bees and honeys, and I kind of get an organic swarm vibe from this, and I thought this is going to be fantastic. Besides the dining room table, there's other elements that can go into a formal dining room, including storage, bar service, buffets, things like that. And so it made sense for me to add in some of those elements here. If we're going all out, we might as well, right? So I found this fantastic little bar. It is perfect for our look because it's got the nice natural woods on it. It has the black accent with the metal elements for structure. And it's curved. Now, is it the same type of curve as technically on the wall? I don't know. But I like that it literally had the curved shells, which we were told about in the Pottermore description of the Hufflepuff common room. I also opted for really fun, almost hive-shaped copper lighting to go over it. Little accents like a hammered copper bucket like this for your champagne, chilling your rosé would be great, and a nice way to bring in then texture, as well as a little bit of copper like the plants were in. And then I thought, it doesn't have to be copper in the traditional clean and polished sense. So I liked the idea of mixing in a little bit of oxidized copper, where you kind of have that oil slick rainbow finish here, because one, it's going to add a little pops of color to the room without everything just being copper, honey, and green and black. You know, we're going to add in a little blues, a little pinks, a little yellows. But that way, when you get like silk florals like this, that you could put in there, you could put a lot of different colors in if you wanted to. Everything's going to match. Because again, florals were mentioned in the description from the common room. They were hanging, there were ivies in the ceiling, and we're seeing a lot of that on these walls. But I think a nice little floral arrangement makes a big difference in a room, even if their silks were real. So styled, it would look something like this. What else does a dining room need? We have a table set up, we have a little bar station. Well, a lot of people like some sort of buffet. They're sometimes called sideboard tables, whatever you want to refer to them as. They're usually probably a little lower than bar height tables that offer some sort of storage, and you can also use them like you see here for maybe dessert displays, cocktail hors d'oeuvres, that type of thing. And so I thought this is a nice one because one, it's got a nice warm tone wood. It is detailed and it has nice rounded curves, right? We're talking about that curved shelving again. And I thought, okay, this is fun, but this is a much wider footprint than the bar. So I don't think a pendant light is going to make sense. So I went big and I found this incredible oxidized copper lamp light. It's technically meant for a kitchen island. They do make variations of this lamp in different sizes, different pendants, different shapes. And as always, all of the links to these products are down below in the description for you and your shopping pleasure, so you can get inspiration. And I thought this is going to look really cool. This oxidized copper is perfect because it has the copper hues. It brings in the wood together. I'm just loving it. But then equally, if we have hammered copper serving dishes or beautiful hand coppered serving, like you could put water in here, you could put tea, a beverage dispenser, whatever you want, it's going to look at home here. And then throughout the year, throughout the seasons, as you decorate different ways, this is going to give you, this light will give you the opportunity to mix a lot of colors in beautifully. And because we're lightly playing on the honeycomb, honey type vibe, I found these beautiful highball glasses, which I think would look perfect on this little shelf here. And they're nothing crazy. They're, you know, just basic glass, but they have sometimes it's the little details like these that really make an area look special and thought out. And it kind of all ties together, textured, you know, just little details I love. When we went through all of those descriptors for the Hufflepuff common room, it was cozy vibes, warm, welcoming, inviting type color palettes, cozy spaces, and so that's what I really want in this dining room. And I think that's what anybody would want in a space that you might be even eating several of your meals a day here, you might be taking calls here, you might be entertaining friends and family. So I thought it was imperative that we got some comfy looking chairs in here. I hope they're comfy. I've never sat in these, but they look so cool. They look comfy, and I love that one, they've got a beautiful honey tone on them. They've got literally yellow and black going for them. Love that already. I love the little detailing that we see in here because I think things like that make the room, make the piece look extra special. But what absolutely sold it for me was the back, because you could see from the tile, it's essentially a honeycomb kind of diamond pattern, and we're seeing that in a very similar manner on these chairs, and I'm like, sold. I think you know as well as I do that a nice table isn't enough. You need more, and if you're going this far, let's go. So I started with black stoneware. I know not everybody loves black plates, but one, I think there's a reason that high-end restaurants use them. It makes food pop, it makes presentation interesting and visually different for your eyes. Stoneware is also very reliable, holds up a long time, and the particular set that I found has a nice kind of exposed rim, which is going to look beautiful with all of the rest of our kind of natural colors that we see here. And also there's a nice kind of speckle texture to it, which I think is going to be perfect. Now, we have gold, we have brass, we have a lot of ambers and yellows. So I thought in a matte gold finish with a little bit of black tips, these would be the coolest silverware to go with this set. And they're great for everyday use somehow. I found these premium cotton napkins, which are beautiful yellow, but they have a nice texture, and they reminded me a lot of the swirls, kind of how we see that organic abstract here. And then it made me think, you know, if it reminds me of this and this reminds me of this, and then I started looking at all of these and I'm like, they do kind of match pretty well together. And if you wanted to spice things up or expand your collection, they make these napkins in several colors with the same finish. But that's not all. You need cups, right? I love the stemless wine glasses for everyday use because you can put water in it, you can put juice in it, you can put wine in it, you can put whatever you wanted. But I thought these were really nice because they have like almost a frosted honey amber color to them. And I thought those are going to, one, look really pretty on the table, but they're also going to look really lovely with all the chairs and everything, and just keep that warm, cozy, inviting color scheme going. I also thought it's nice to have a little something on the table, pretty, and so I found this black bowl that has hammered copper on the inside. I really love this. This is a statement dining room. I would be thrilled to go to a dinner party in, let alone have this in my house, but it's missing something. Can you guess what's missing? We're missing a rug. I looked forever for the best rug for this, and once I found this, I am convinced that this rug is perfect for this room. One, it's bright but cozy and not too formal. Two, it has a very similar diamond kind of honeycomb shape already going in the patterns. It has the amber honey colors that we're already working in throughout the design in it. And it also has the blues, kind of tealy color purples that we have in the oxidized copper, as well as those blues are pretty similar to what we're seeing on our little sofa seat here. So I ask you again, friends, what would a Hufflepuff dining room look like? We know that they're cozy. We know that they're near the Hogwarts kitchens. We know that they have bee colors like black and yellow, lots of honey. They're warm, they're inviting. They have plants, copper bottom pots, lots of just inviting features. I think we crushed it. What do you think? I'd love to hear all about your input on this design in the comments down below. And if you're interested in designing other rooms inspired by your Hogwarts house or just Hogwarts in general, you're going to want to check out the video from last week where I shared a Ravenclaw inspired bedroom. And next week, I think you guys are going to be excited. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of that content, because I've already started working on it and I don't want to spoil anything, but I am pumped. Alright friends, my name is Alessandra. Thank you for decorating with me today. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more fun Hogwarts or Harry Potter themed content, not to mention all of the super fun and sparkly and delightful holiday decor that I have coming up for you. You're not going to want to miss it. Until next time, bye friends!